Hey, did you ever see Wrestling Society X on MTV?
No.
I don't know why, but the presentation of this kind of makes me think of that. And I haven't seen Wrestling Society X in a long, long time. We might need to watch some of that
Mm.
sometime on the show.
Well, pretty much everything that MTV does, they fuck up. So why not watch it?
You're not a fan of MTV.
No, I was a fan of music videos. Loved music videos.
Yep. I feel you.
Yeah. You don't remember it. You were too young.
What?
To me, the greatest era was music videos in the 80s on MTV.
Oh, no, I remember that. Dude, I
Oh,
remember as a kid, and I guess this would have been the very early 90s. Maybe it would have been the late 80s. But like when Michael Jackson would drop a video, it was an
yeah.
event.
Of course it was.
Like
Yes. It was big.
everybody knew, like you got to be watching MTV on,
Hmm.
I'll forget Sunday night at 6 or whatever it is. But I remember it being like a whole thing, and we don't really have that in modern days. Like there's not like, hey, be sure to watch so and so tonight at such and such time, because now everything's online and you can DVR things, and I'll see it on social media or somebody will post it to Facebook. But back then, man, you had to be in front of the TV if you were going to see it.
I remember MTV had a late night show. I don't even remember the name of it, but I remember watching their late night show and their music videos. I think it was like a countdown, top 10 or something like that, or music videos in the 80s. And I go back now and on YouTube and watch the old, like the Cars,
Yep.
their videos. And production wise, they really don't hold up, but they're still wonderful.
Yes. I think there's that piece of nostalgia, and that's why this podcast has had success. Like so many people who are with us live here, they remember the way the old wrestling we're watching made them feel.
Yeah.
I liked Yo MTV Raps, Headbangers Ball. I mean, they had a bunch of fun.
Hmm.
Remote Control, Singled Out. They had a lot of fun shows, and then of course, I think one of their biggest hits was TRL, and that probably would have been something your daughter Lori was into. Total Request Live.
Oh yeah, that was back in the heyday of NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys and that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember her watching that. I just miss those days. I was talking to Lois about this. By the way, as we're talking about this, these guys are putting some time into this match.
Pretty good match so far.
Yeah, very good match so far. One thing about Johnny is he always came up with some very innovative type maneuvers and moves that he worked on, and I don't know if we've seen any of these yet, but like there,
Yeah.
like a backstabber off of the ropes. I mean, that's pretty innovative. Um, Anyway, I was talking to Lois about this the other day. Man, I miss the 80s. And
Oh,
I
I do
don't
too, man.
and I don't yeah, well, you were a baby.
But that's what I'm saying. I'd like to go back and experience the 80s as
Yeah.
an adult. I would
Right.
love to be able to go through the 80s and 90s as an adult and relive all my favorite childhood stuff as an adult. And I know it wouldn't be the same, but
Sure. But I was, and we were, and look, when I talked to Lois about it, she says, "Well, I was having babies, so I don't know what you're talking about."
what
But yeah, she was pregnant all through the 80s. She was.
what causes all that?
And I sometimes I feel bad about her having so many babies during the 80s. Really, I do. Not that we don't love our kids, but that she was pregnant during that time. But
So was Dave Silva. Silva was pregnant all through the 80s.
really, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just miss the 80s, miss the music. Lois and I would go to concerts,
The movies were awesome.
movies. That's right. Huey Lewis and the News. We went to see them in concert. Went to see the Monkees return in concert. Uh, I was into wrestling, still doing baseball, but I was doing wrestling because I love wrestling, and now I was in it. Just Back to the Future movies. Gee whiz. I miss it. And sometimes, and a lot, there's something very strong in me that relates to the 80s. And the weird thing is that I grew up in the 70s. So I don't know what it is about the 80s.
Aaron Sheen is with us here live and says, do you guys see Del Rio getting another chance with a major company? Listen, never say never in the wrestling business. I don't know that AEW is all that likely for obvious reasons, maybe, but I mean, someday, somehow I could see it. But right now, I mean, he's on top in AAA. He's working main events, and that is the major mega company in Mexico. So for them to have an opportunity to have a big star fresh off TV uh, here on Lucha Underground, I mean, clearly Dorian thought a lot of him and still does. So I know that a lot of American wrestling fans don't see everything that happens in Mexico or Japan, but AAA is a major company. But yeah, I think one day perhaps we could see it in WWE or maybe AEW. What say
You
you?
really think, I don't know, with his past troubles, do you really think that, I don't see him being in AEW, to be honest with you.
Well, given recent contract renewals, perhaps not.
Right.
Just out of respect, and I understand that. But I also think that people grow up, people mature, people change. You grow through phases, you grow out of shit. People have dark times and challenges and demons and what so forth. And man, when they get all that sorted out, I'm a big proponent of let's give people another chance. I'll admit I don't know all the details. I just know there was a romantic relationship that maybe burned a little too hot at times.
Do you know what prevents people from getting a second chance?
Themselves.
Well, that too, but even if they do everything the straight and narrow they want to, social media,
Mm.
it does.
You're not necessarily
Companies
saying
are,
that, not necessarily saying they're doing stupid shit on social media, but that fans online
yes,
might be outraged
right,
and clutch their pearls, and we want to avoid controversy, so we just don't give those people the opportunity.
exactly.
I got you. Well,
And
that's a shame.
that is a shame, and that's one of the horrible things about social media. Ooh, the referee got it.
I think that's referee Marty Elias, who used to be in WWE, and he took a good looking super kick right to the mush there.
And there is the
Got the armbar on.
yes,
Johnny's tapping, but there's no referee because Marty's down.
the Juji Katami, Guji
Oh,
Katami.
listen to you. Did Taz teach you that?
Yes, I never can
Hey,
say it right, so I don't say
has there
it.
been any updates on Taz? Is he still at a local medical facility?
He's not at a local medical facility. He went back to New York that night, and he seems to be convalescing.
Good. I got to check on my man Taz.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. Regardless how much pain he's in, there's always a phone by his side.
Oh, I'm texting him right now.
Don't, don't text him right now
Why?
because you won't be able to pay attention to what we're doing because you'll be texting for the next 2 hours.
Nah.